Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to the video. Yeah, my voice changed a little bit. Today we're gonna be doing what if deku, had incersio. Part 2. Part 1 didn't do, as well as I thought it would. But, if you like, leave a like, subscribe, comment if you need me or you want me to change something, or you want me to do a new what if. If I hit 10 subscribers before November, I will be very impressed. Now, who am I kidding? I'd be ecstatic. So anyway, I think if I remember right, the last part we left off on was, Izuku, absolutely blitzing everyone in the not the sports festival, the, entrance exam. Cause, he's OP in my what if, in this, he's absolutely shattered. So, Izuku, it's a few weeks from now, he tells his mom, like, Mom, I passed. So, Izuku, he says his mom is ecstatic, cause her baby boy just got into UA. Little does she know, he's absolutely shattered, because she thinks that it's just, a quirk only activates when he gets a little angry. Because I'm going to say more than once, like, I'm going to say there was this one time he got her boss, hit on her. Not in the way that I think you're thinking. I think most of you know what I mean, but if you don't, he was flirting with her. And saying, if you don't go out with me, you're gonna lose your job. Izuku was like, his horns appeared, like the aura came. He's like, Mom, I'll be right back. The guy never bothered her again. In fact, there was, strangely enough, a new boss was chosen the next day. And the guy was never heard from again. So Inko could never put 2 and 2 together because, her little boy couldn't have done that. His quirk isn't all that strong. Little does she know, he has an Imperium quirk. And if you don't remember from last episode, yeah, I added a new type of quirk, to the 4, transformation being one of the rarest, and the most common being emitter. Yeah, there's one now even more rare than transformation quirks. So it's from least rare to rarest. It's emitters, mutations, transformations, and then Imperium quirks. And for some reason, there can only be... How many Imperial arms are there in the anime? I'm gonna say like 50, 52, 54, or at least 100. At the most, like 100. Okay, so basically, Izuku, since he played, and he has the strongest Imperium arm, Imperial arms, or Imperium quirk. Since Akame's in this, hers is the Murasame, but she can make it to where it's not a one-hit kill, but a one-hit knockout. Like, all she has to do is pierce your skin, and the curse immediately will knock you out for however long she wants it to. If she wants to do it forever, she just says exterminate before she does it. If she says exterminate, it's good for one hit, and then it'll kill instantly. She also has her trump card, But in order for it to activate, she has to say her thing's name, the Murasame. She has to say Murasame, awaken, devour the blood of the one who has spilt so much for you. You know, something like that. Because, you know, why not? Sounds cool. And, you know, Mirko, she still has the rabbit quirk, you know, but it's stronger. You know, it's a lot stronger. So imagine Mirko in canon, just a younger version, but stronger. Sorry if you hear that in the background. I'm playing with a metal slinky that is broken. Because I can. Anyway, you know, Izuku, he sees, you know, I'm just gonna say, he runs off. You know, since it's the first day, he has to rush to get to school. You know, he runs into Kame Mirako. You know, I'm gonna say, since it's the first day, Aizawa does that, you know, quirk apprehension test. You know, so Izuku, since he was first, is like, hey, kid with the really weird quirk, throw this as far as you can, using your full powered quirk. And Izuku's like, alright, easy enough. And you know, he catches the ball, he says, incersio. Incersio. You know, the normal incersio armor just wraps around him. You know, he winds back his arm, and then he throws it as hard as he can. I'm gonna say even like this, it breaks Mach speed. I'm gonna say no one knew his full power, they just thought. And Zuku's like, before you ask, yeah, that was about my full power right now. I'm still on a cooldown. And, you know, as I was like, what? A cooldown? It's been 2 weeks since the entrance exam. He says, exactly. That's my first time ever using that. I've never used it before. And he's like, wait a minute. That was what? That was insanely risky. How did you even maintain? It's a surprise I even maintained consciousness. It's even more of a surprise that I can actually use Incursio at this moment. And, you know, Aizawa and everyone, except for Mirako and Akame, are like, what? You know, no. Mirako and Akame also say, what? You know, he's like, yeah. If I use that form, I call it Tyrannical Overdrive. And I have to think about it in order to transform, you know, to activate its full power. And, you know, I'm going to say it has an insanely long cooldown period of 2 weeks. So, you know, a week from now, it would be ready to use. And he basically explains, like, you know, he's lowered it from a lot of time, because he can use it from base form, but if he does that, the cooldown period's halved. So it only takes a week to cool down, but it's half as strong. That was his first time using it while wearing Incursio. So, essentially, if he's not wearing Incursio and activates his tyrannical form, you know, it's at half power. If he is wearing Incursio, you know, it practically doubles in power. And, you know, it doubles in size. So, remember how I said it was the size of, you know, the 0-pointer? Yeah, that's actually how big it is. I'm not retconning that. You know, but when he isn't in Incursio, he's double the size of All Might. Not double, he's like, like a foot or 3 or 4 feet taller, but he doesn't have the armor, so his body is a little less durable, and a little less strong, a little less fast. Yeah, that's about it. So it's the next day, hero versus villains. Miracle's like, alright, I get to finally show you guys how strong I am. And Kami's like, simmer down, Miracle. We can't brag without actually showing them our full power. And Izuku's like, yeah, calm down. Miracle grabs on to Izuku, like, uh, Leonis does to Tatsumi, and is like, oh, come on. I know you want to show off, too. You've been holding back for so long. Just show them your full power. Izuku gives her, like, a look. He's like, I don't want to, though. And Miracle's like, ugh, y'all are wimpy. And, Akama's like, hey, be nice. He's been bullied for not showing his quirk to anyone. And Miracle's like, that's exactly why. That's exactly why I want him to use it. And, everyone's confused. Even Midoriya's confused. Miracle's like, because if you don't show them why they should mess with you, they're gonna keep messing with you. And he's like, maybe you're right, Miracle. And then Akame says, only if you're ready. He's like, he takes a really deep breath. His eyes are blue now, because why not? I'm gonna say Tatsumi's eyes in the anime are blue instead of whatever color they are. I think they're like green or brown, or like a really weird color. So Izuku, after he's really calmed down, he's like, his eyes turn blue, like I said, and he's like, alright. He looks up, he looks at All Might, and he's like, ready when you are. And All Might's like, he gives him like a super happy smirk. And I'm gonna say, since I'm just gonna say his costume isn't the same, I'm just gonna say he wears incersio. Because why not? That quirk makes the most sense. I mean, come on. You basically have a suit on standby. So if you're ever in trouble, just like, boom. Instant suit of pretty much unbreakable armor. You remember, he's like, he's smarter than All Might. No, not smarter than All Might. He's smarter than Nezu with full intelligence, thing going on. With full strength, he's like, I'm gonna say, with full intelligence, he's 20 times smarter than Nezu. With full strength, he's like 20 times stronger than Prime All Might. With max defense, because like max intelligence, max strength, max, speed. Who's the fastest in My Hero Academia? Christ. I don't know, honestly. But let's just say, screw it. There's someone faster than Ida's brother. Ida himself. He's like, okay, the reciprocal burst? Yeah, imagine that, but 20 times faster. he's big. If he goes full speed, whatever he's doing, he instantly breaks the sound barrier. Also, did I mention the only one he didn't pass was the ball throw in first place? That was a rocket. He was like, yeah, I don't want to make it go infinity. There was a whole bit in an episode that I pre-recorded, but since I'm really tired, and that video ended up getting deleted, the joke didn't play out. Where Ezekiel basically created Infinity Plus. There was a whole bit about that, and I just decided not to do it because, I'm lazy. I'm tired. Someone said my name while I was recording, so, I just kind of deleted it because I don't want y'all to know my name. Sorry, I was thirsty. Sorry, I was thirsty. It helps wake me up as well. So, anyway, Ezekiel, he's like running, and when he's like full defense, unbreakable in Kirishima. Yeah, he pretty much looks like that. No, he looks like a giant boulder made of pure steel. So he's like completely unbreakable, and there's no time limit on any of these, unless he says tyrannical. When he says tyrannical, his maximum powers increase by pretty much quadruples the stats. It combines, speed, strength, intelligence, defense all into one, and then quadruples the power, and then just fuses it into a single body, making it insanely big while granting Izuku like regenerative properties as long as he's inside. And if Izuku's mad, like the horns that appear, like certain parts of the armor that are pointy, I guess. Hold on. That red stuff you see in on incersio, but it's like a fire or like energy shooting out at a very low frequency. Depending on how angry he is, completely like rearranges how much energy is being released. Like I said, by using that, he has to go on a 2-week cooldown period. Within the first hour or two, he can't use incersio like at all. If he uses and he can still use like the full rage form. He can use rage form, but yeah, it's a lot weaker. Cause I'm gonna say, you know, Deku without incersio on is equal to Canon Akame ga Kill. Tatsumi with incersio on. So him in rage form with incersio off is equal to uh, Tatsumi with incersio on, like right after he woke it up. Izuku, I'm gonna say that instead of him and Uraraka, it's him, Akame, and Mirako versus Ida, Bakugo, and Ochako Uraraka. I don't know why I said it like that. Honestly, she's one of my least favorite characters for a few reasons. She may have a semi-noble cause, but she's a gold digger. Let's be honest, we all know. We all do know. All of us do know. So anyway, Izuku, he's like Alright. You two go find the bomb. Bakugo will probably be coming after me. And we'll use that to their downfall. You know, maybe he'll keep Ochako there while him and Ida patrol. He'll knock out Ida, giving us an extra advantage. And then he will try to attack me in one-on-one combat, which he'll lose, so it'd be 2-on-1, and then a 2-on-1, 3-on-1, depending on how quickly I get this done. You know, Akame is like, that's a really good plan. You know, she's one of those people, like, you know, she likes you, but she don't show it. She's not dishonest, she's like, she doesn't, like, try to make it look like she hates you when she really loves you. No. She's like, everyone knows she likes you, but she's like, she tries to hide it really well. And she kind of does it kind of well. But you know, people who have immunities towards it, I'm gonna say like Miracle knows. Mina knows because she is the tea queen. Let's be honest. She is the tea queen. If you need tea, you know, just go to not Miracle, just go to freaking Mina, and you will gather all the tea you will ever need. I'm also gonna say Ochako knows because she noticed how, you know, Akame acts around Izuku and how she acts around other people. Because I'm gonna say she acts pretty different, but not enough for Izuku. Izuku notices it, but he just puts it off like, well, we've known each other since we were kids, so. Izuku, yeah, Izuku's plan goes off without a hitch. Izuku runs up, jumps. I'm gonna say he walks into the building, and then Bakugo tries to throw an explosion. You know, I'm gonna say that Akame and Mirako jump in through some windows, and they radio in like, we found Ida. Izuku says, wrap it up. And then Izuku wraps, like, Akame and Mirako wrap Ida up in the capture tape. And All Might's like, one villain captured. You know, Izuku, he runs up. Not really runs up. You know, he and Bakugo are fighting. It's a one-sided fight, really. You know, Izuku's not doing anything. Bakugo's trying to blast them apart. You know, Izuku's just like, get that out of here. You know, he's smacking his hands away, just with a quick flicks of his wrist. He's not even powering up. You know, there's no horns, his eyes haven't changed yet. You know, he's just base Izu form. He's in base Izuku form. There's literally nothing different about him from normal. Except for the fact that his eyes are blue. Because, you know, his mind is clear as crystal. You know. So, anyways, Izuku. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. There's a TV playing in my room. I have it on mute, but, you know, it's flashing lights and it's getting my attention. So anyway, Izuku, you know, he runs off after beating up, you know, no. Bakugo tries that whole, you know, pin boom attack thing. I'm just gonna call it the gauntlet attack. You know, where he lifts up the arm with the grenade on it, you know, pulls back one of the grips of the grenade and pulls out a pin, and he just fires a giant fireball. You know, I'm gonna say Izuku's like, oh, this is, and All Might's like, stop, you'll kill him. And Izuku rolls up his right arm's sleeve. You know, he turns it. I'm gonna say he can also change incersio to look like whatever he wants it to. So he changes it into like some kind of blade thing and cuts it in half. No, he takes out the hidden pole arm and slices downward. Because I'm gonna say he uses it more like a sword instead of a spear, because I don't really know much about spears. He like slashes downward through it, you know, it flies past him. I'm gonna say like he has like the glove on in order to hold the thing. And Yuzuka's like, dang, you really made me equip a small fragment. You know, that earned you something. You know, he starts spinning the spear in his hand. You know, it starts picking up speed. You know, and I'm gonna say while it's picking up speed, he started spinning it with both of his hands. So, you know, when it starts picking up speed, you know, all the smoke that was in the room starts siphoning around the inner part of the spear. I'm gonna say he stops it and then just punch, you know, the little red gem thing. Yeah, he hits that. You know, the top of the spear opens up. Izuku, you know, he pins Bakugo using it. I'm gonna say the handle bends to stab. I'm gonna say it's, you know, when the top part split, it broke into Bakugo's gauntlets and then held him in place. So Bakugo can't move. He can't move the spear because it's too heavy. If you don't have at least one piece of incersio on, you can't physically move it. There's no possible way. It's just impossible. It's like Mjolnir in Thor, you know. Pretty simple stuff. So, you know, Izuku, he's like, alright, get the bomb. I'm done. You know, he starts rubbing his eyes because he didn't get much sleep the night before. Because he was doing something. Remember that whole spiel I said about Izuku, you know, hunting the guy? Yeah, that happened the day after he entered UA. So he's really tired from hunting down the guy. And he's like, everyone notices this. I'm gonna say, like, the longer he uses incersio, the more stamina it takes. I can't. Anyway, so Izuku, you know, he walks up. He starts walking out of the building. You know, Akame and Mirko are like, good job, Izuku. And Mirko's like, alright, Izu. You really showed him what's what. He's like, thanks, Mirko. And he passes out. Because I'm tired. I'll make him pass out. Because I'm mad. You know, I'm mad when I'm tired. Don't freaking judge me. You know, you know what? I'm angry. I'm very angry when I'm tired. You know, Izuku, you know, Akame, he falls forward. And Akame and Mirako, they're like, holy crap. And then they catch him. And then Izuku, and almost like, crap. And he runs. And he's like, what happened? He didn't seem to take any damage from the fight, so that couldn't have caused it. All Might says, and then Miracle's like, I don't know. Nakame says, he's exhausted. And they're like, what? He must have not gotten any sleep. Because I'm gonna say, ever since he activated, you know, tyrannical form, because that's his trump card. I'm not gonna make it to where invisibility is his trump card. Tyrannical is his trump card. Because, you know, why the heck not? He's gonna be a boss. You know, and since he activated it, he couldn't get any time to sleep because he would have, like, weird thoughts. He's like, if I fall asleep, something bad's gonna happen. Or something like that, you know. Zuko, Zuko, he'd come up with something. So, Zuko, he's brought to Recovery Girl's office. He's sleeping, he's sleeping off his, fatigue. Let me drink some more water. That's better. Sorry. So anyway, Izuku, after he wakes up, he's like, what happened? He was this Mirako and Akame just kind of chilling out on his lap. Hold on a second, I'm getting me some more water. Sorry, I needed to whisk my whistle. I needed something to whisk my whistle. So, Izuku, God, how do I put this? He notices them, he's like, get up. They immediately wake up, they're like, Izuku! They both hug him. Because, they both love him. They're, oh, you know what? I'm gonna change something. Mirako is no longer, like, a fragment of Akame's soul. No, 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 no. She's a part of, I don't know, Leonis? I think that's her name? The girl with the lion belt. You can call her Leonis. If it's not that, I'll look it up later sometime. I'll look it up sometime later. Okay. So anyway, Izuku, when he wakes up, they hug him, they're like, Izuku, why haven't you been sleeping? And he's like, no reason. He kind of looks away, kind of like blushing a little bit, because, they was looking pretty adorable. Akame has a little bit of messed up hair, Mirako, her ears are kind of like, they'll occasionally go down, then perk back up. Like, when you are falling asleep in class, and like your head starts going down, and you immediately pop your head back up, and you're like, yeah, okay, keeping up, okay. But we all know we eventually all fall asleep in some class. Mine, for 8th grade. God. Honestly, what did I have first? I couldn't even sleep first hour. Yo, but for real though, my 7th grade my 7th grade social studies teacher, he was a freaking real one. Like, bro, he was such a good teacher before he retired. Like, he was an absolute mad lad of a teacher. I might, he was my favorite teacher, in my opinion. I haven't checked how many subscribers I got. You know what? I'll finish it after the story. Like, how you're really tired in the morning? Yeah, I wake up at 5 o'clock. I used to be able to wake up at like 5 or 4 o'clock every morning throughout the school week with no problem. But with a little problem because, I'd be tired, you know, and, you know, I'd barely be awake. And when I went to his class, and I accidentally fell asleep, I was just chilling in the front. I was by the freaking door chilling in the front, you know. He left his door open most of the time. He let me sleep in his class, just chilling in the front row, catching all them Z's, catching up on his sleep. Like, he was a freaking real one. He was my favorite teacher ever. My least favorite teacher was an English teacher. She almost got me killed, but, that's a story for another day if y'all want to hear that. Anyway, like, I would do, for some reason, in his class, I think we all know why, I was full try-hard mode. I was getting A's and B's on his test, and that was, like, a year that I pretty much could have failed. But, 8th grade year, I pulled it up. I'm in high school now. I'm vibing out. Ninth grade. Let's go. I'm not gonna tell you the names of the teachers, but, you know, one was in, I don't know, some state. I don't remember. I was like 5. Not really 5. I think I was like 10. It was like in another city, town. I think it was the next one over. Anyway, back to the story. You know, he's like, and then, Akame grabs his face and makes him look at her. And she's like, why haven't you been sleeping? Izuku, he tries to look away, but Akame has, a really tight grip, and Izuku's body is still like, it's tired. You know, Izuku, he like, he's like, it's because I'm scared. And they're like, and Miriko's like, holy crap, that worked? I need to do that to someone more often. I need to do that to someone. And Akame's like, why are you scared, Izu? He's like, because there are these, he basically says there are these 2 girls that I like, and I wanted to confess to them, but he doesn't know how he's going to do it. And, Miriko and Akame are like, who are these 2 girls? Because, they're kind of sad, and he's like, you 2 idiots. His body starts waking up at this point. He starts feeling the pain. He's like, no, in his head. Mirko and Akame are like, what? They both, like, jump up. They're like, what? Even Mirko's like this. She confuzzled. Akame's like this even more so because, she one of them people, like, she pretend that she don't like you when she really like you. Like, she's like that. Suzuku, they both jump on him and give him hugs, and he's like, he's pulling through because he's a freaking Chad. He's just absolute bossman territory. He's pretty. He's rocking the pain. He's like, gotta just don't say anything, Izuku. And, they start getting off of him. They start like, and he's like, all right, we need to go to sleep. I might be taking something from Shoto Aizawa. If you haven't seen him, go watch his videos. They're so good. He hasn't posted in a little while, but I don't care. The man's an absolute mad lad. He's my favorite. He's like my number 1 favorite. My Hero Academia, whatever. My second favorite is probably like Blue Crown, third Ryan Trunky, just because Blue Crown has what Deku was reborn, and Akame, no, and Ryan Trunky has energy manipulation and a few others. He's also connected to the Blessed Heroes, which technically he runs the show with. So anyway, Izuku is like, I'm stealing this from Shoto. I'm sorry, man. If you watch this video, I'm sorry. It's a really cool line. He's like, they're about to go to sleep, and he's like, no. That's how you get back problems. Because, when you lay in a chair, like, arms in your head on your desk, yeah, that causes back problems. Trust me, I talk from experience. My back's always hurting. Because I used to do that a lot. Izuku is like, come up here. And they're like, what? He says, shh, it's just as weird as it is. It's just as weird for me as it is for you two. He's like, please, just do it for me. And they're like, fine. Even Mirika's like this because, she likes Deku. She likes Deku. Who wouldn't like this man? He's an absolute monster. They're sleeping. It's the next day. Recovery Girl walks into her office to check on him, and she sees those 2, and she's like, young love. She leaves him alone. Izuku, he was talking, because I'm going to say he figured out how to talk to Tyrant. and Tatsumi in his mind, not Tatsumi, it's a tyrant in his mindscape, because Tatsumi, his soul finally passed on along with the Kame's, and literally anyone else's who I said was there, except for Death, because she did. She in the underworld. She in the underworld dead. She ain't getting reincarnation. Unless we get 500. I'm just joking. I know I ain't gonna get 500 subscribers. Literally, no chance. If I ever do get 500 subscribers, I'll bring Death back somehow. Yeah, it's impossible. Never mind. No one ever is gonna watch this. No big YouTuber is gonna watch this video and recommend my channel to all his people. So there's no chance I'm gonna get 500 subscribers. Not a chance in the world. If you're a YouTuber, please ask before you use any of my stuff, any of my ideas. Because I think, my ideas are pretty cool. I think my take on certain things is pretty fascinating. So Izuku, hmm, Izuku starts waking up. He's like, oh, my head. He's like, his body's full charged. He can even feel that he can use tyrannical. And yeah, I'm gonna call it tyrannical from now on because I have no better name for the stupid freaking thing. He feels he can use tyrannical at full power. No matter what. He's like, dang, I feel a heck of power. I feel full charged. And he says this kind of like, doesn't say it out loud, but he says it, kind of loudish. So, he's kind of like thinking this, and he notices Mirko and Akame just both chilling out on his chest. He's like, damn. He's like, dang. What happened yesterday? And he starts thinking. He's like, oh, okay. So he's like, get up. And Akame and Mirko are like, no, comfy. He's like, he's blushing a little bit. He's like, if you don't get up, I swear on incersio, I will make you. They're like, no, too comfortable. They're in a position that's super comfortable. And Izuku's like, fine, you get another 5 minutes. He's like, fine, you get 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, they wake up. They're like, what happened? Izuku's like, good morning. You're gonna make us late. Hurry up, get off me. And they're like both freaking out. They're like, what the heck? What happened last night? And Izuku says, nothing embarrassing happened. We're both fine. Calm down. All that really happened was, y'all two stayed over here. After I pretty much confessed to you two. He's like, you know what? Neither of you said anything, so I don't know if y'all like me or not. And they're like, duh, we like you. We stayed here with you overnight, didn't we? He's like, oh, yeah. And they're like, baka. They're a little bit peeved that, Izuku didn't think of that. He's like, huh, why didn't I think of that? Damn, pop myself in the hand. I just hit my finger and it hurted. Izuku, he pretty much, yeah, we're just gonna do the USJ. Actually, how long is this video?